Okay, guys. So we started this in class earlier. I'm just going to do a little bit extra work on it, just time wise, so we have time to get to everything we need to in class. So we got the dwarf here. I started him earlier today. So the oops, he was supposed to be on the dwarf was on the other screen. Yeah, there we go. There's the dwarf. Anyway, so I'm not gonna work real long on this because it's late, basically. But put a little more work into it, just because kind of want to get this one out of the way. Because we have other stuff to cover. So anyway, where was I? So we were making the dwarf. And so these are line and shape characters we're making instead of making scribble characters. Fighter. So I told you this was going to be a fighter. So this guy's real square. So we're going to use the square shape of him. He's just going to be really big. He's just going to be this massive guy. Like I said, confident line. I don't know, I'll put a sword or something in his hand here. It's ridiculously huge chest and like just giant, massive. And then it's like he's a barbarian, so probably have boots on. I'm assuming that he's a barbarian. He's gonna wear boots. He's not gonna be barefooted. Okay, so and he's gonna have a little head. Why would he have a little head? Because it makes him look that much bigger. So I'll work on a little head in just a minute. Getting his giant body. Okay, so structure of muscles. You got muscles that come in here. You got your hip. Swinging his hips. Okay, so just massive legs here, thighs. So the muscles break down the middle. So what we're gonna do probably he's gonna have like a he's gonna be barbarian, so we'll have fur loincloth. And he's gonna wear just a big pauldron here. A big old belt to keep it tied onto him. And then he's gonna carry this is right hand. So his right hand he's gonna have a big sword, like ridiculously huge sword, like anime size sword, just gigantic sword. He's like He-Man, but bigger. He's bigger than He-Man. How did he get so big? Nobody really knows. He just ate his. Some say he's half giant. Maybe he is. You're a girly man to me. Okay. I don't Resident 2, so you have to listen to my narration. I just play some music here. Let's see here. So down at the bottom, you can't see it's on the other screen. Probably started really loud, and I apologize about that. Okay. To me, it's not as loud as it records for some reason. I don't know why it records so loud. Okay, so we got this guy. He's a big barbarian, and he's So, what kind of hair does a barbarian have? Is it a mohawk? Yeah, let's give him a mohawk. Why not, right? He's a barbarian. He can do whatever he wants. Nobody's gonna tell him his hair looks dumb. Nobody would be that stupid. Okay, so we have to apply a little bit of anatomy to this guy. This is where the muscles meet together and whatnot. That's the thing, like, if they're not holding something, what's their other hand doing, you know? I always wonder that, like, what's your free hand doing? Okay. This guy's gonna hold a sword, a ridiculously huge sword. He's got a mohawk. Alright, and he's got a very manly He-Man sized jaw. He's got huge lats here, and he's got a big pauldron with spikes on it. Yeah, why not? We're going cliche upon cliche here. Alright, this big. Alright, so this belt comes around, and the belt's got a big old buckle right here in the front. Holds the belt together. It straps onto him as it comes around. Probably goes to the other side of the pauldron. Alright, so. And he's probably got some wristbands, because why not? What barbarian doesn't have a wristband? Right? He's got this big old thumb. Alright, and he's only got a few fingers. Give him his fourth finger. Nobody really wants to put that dang last finger doesn't ever fit on your hand right. It really doesn't. So, what kind of swords he got? Well, he's got a ridiculous sword. This thing is just giant. It's this giant sword. It's just ornate and ridiculously huge for no reason. And it's not really straight, but I can straighten it out using the I can straighten out using the shift key in a minute. I'm just kind of roughing it in here. Alright, so we're going to cover props. I think we're going to move the props up. I had a request. Instead of doing environments first, we'll do props first. So that's fine. We're going to cover all of it, but we'll do props first. Okay. So I guess we're going to do props next week. So this guy's really big. And he's got a really big sword. And nobody's going to mess with this guy. He's going to walk into a place, and people are just going to be like, yeah, we're leaving. or they're going to try thinking they're tougher than him and challenge him. Nobody will probably win that. That's just how big this guy is. Okay, so I'll work on his face in a minute. So I used the square shape and made it just a big barbarian. All right, so once again, my lines are loose but confident. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so they're loose but confident line. All right. Okay, so this guy, what's he doing? So we got a wizard, we got a hobbit, we got a dwarf, and what we don't have is a girl. But this doesn't look like a very good girl shape. But we need a rogue, so we don't have a rogue. Every good adventure party needs a rogue. So I'm going to shorten her triangular shape down into a small hips. And we're going to round her edges off if she's a female. Or identifies as female, either, whatever. It's hard to keep up with what you... So she identifies as being female. And so... Okay, so we're going to have some femininity to her. She can be muscular female. She doesn't have to be wimpy just because she's feminine. Shapely, muscular female. And she's going to be a rogue. So, and here's where I was running into a problem. Making attractive females. My females come out looking like dudes. So, I'll have to work on this one. I'm probably going to bring in some I'll have to bring in a what do you call it for this? Some like a dagger balancing here. I'll probably make her smaller in a minute. Because not because she's so much because she's female, but because she's a rogue. And this leg is too far over. I gotta move this leg. Yeah, don't laugh at my female. I was doing so well until I tried to draw a female. And then it all just went downhill. Okay, and she has she's balancing a dagger on her finger here to denote her prowess with bladed weapons. Okay. Well, I'm probably going to need some reference, like I said. Get these hips right. And I think her knee's actually here in her. Okay, yeah. Alright, so not too bad. It's getting there. So we'll take the edit. And since she's on the same layer as everyone else, I gotta edit cut, edit, paste in place. To be honest with you, I hadn't said it was a female. I probably made a feminine looking male and would have been fine with it, but I made a big deal and said it was a female, and then all of a sudden I start screwing it up. Okay, so she can be an elf. Female elf. What's that? So, Lord of the Ring elves are actually taller than normal humans. But we're going to go with the more traditional elf. And she's just altogether small. So we got a dwarf who probably could be a little shorter. Let's go to the dwarf. Where's the dwarf at? Here's the dwarf. Edit. Free transform. And we don't make him any... We'll just make him shorter. We got a giant human. We got a hobbit who definitely needs to be smaller. Edit. Free transform. The thing with the hobbit is that he needs to be smaller, but I don't make him so small I can't. Maybe a little bit bigger, but he's not as big as the dwarf. And we got a human wizard and the big barbarian dude. So if I put them all on the same thing here next to each other. Okay, so this wizard is definitely too big. So free transform. I mean, he doesn't need to be as short as everyone else, but he should not be as big as the giant human. Alright, so I'm gonna change that to a staff. I don't like the sickle. I put the sickle there and I don't like it. Okay, so we have a party here now, and we'll do something here with it. So as you see, my party is almost we're almost all males because, like I said, I just have a much easier time drawing them. So I'm gonna make this a staff, not a sickle. And I don't know, maybe it has a crystal up here at the top or something. Wizard staff, and it's kind of. Alright, there we go. Alright, so and I really don't like the hat now at all. I did earlier, but no, I hate the hat. So he's gonna have maybe he's got a traditional wizard hat on. Not that I like that much better, but. And I don't like the pointy shoulders anymore. We'll go with the hood and regular shoulders. His arm would actually be back here. And he's got a hood on, but the hood's pulled down because he's got the big hat. You know what? Maybe I'd get rid of the hat altogether and just put the hood up on him. That would be better. I like that better. Let's just get rid of that. Let's just get rid of the... let's see here. There we go. That's better already. Maybe he's got a spell book here or something he's holding. I don't know. His thumb goes to the other side of it, so. A spell book, and he's got a hood on. Okay. Alright, and his robe comes down too. It's gonna kind of hang like this. Instead of being pointy. I don't like that line's making it look bad, so. Okay. Alright, and he's got a sword. He can have a sword. Wizards can carry a sword, that's fine. Gandalf did. And we're gonna, by default, just say Gandalf is definitely the best wizard that we know. So we're just gonna go with Gandalf is default. Okay, so we got a. You know what? I'm gonna get rid of the sword. This guy's gonna have a dagger, but not a sword. Dagger's fine. Get a dagger, but not a sword. Okay, I think I'll make his robe longer. There we go. Alright, and then his hood's gonna come down here. Too far back, it doesn't look good. Alright, so we'll work on him a little more. I'm not happy with him at all, but he's getting there. Okay, so we've got a female rogue, a wizard, a hobbit. Okay. So now, basically what I want to show you was we use, instead of doing block shapes, we use lines and shapes to create these characters. So now I'm just going to go in and just detail each character out. So we're started with the wizard. So let's go with the wizard. So let's zoom in. We can see the wizard. And to be honest with you, the way I like to work, 100% honest, I'm going to take this wizard and I'm going to edit, cut him, and I'm going to put him on a brand new stage. So I'm just going to make another document, create, make a new layer, edit, fill that layer with, go with the white, and then we're going to paste our character on here, and then I'm going to make him bigger. And this is the reason I usually take them to another layer, so that I can work on them bigger, and then I can shrink them down a little bit to put them on the overall composition. I just like to work on a bigger character, so not too big, but this will work. Okay. Alright, so this is where we're going to work on him, and then, so we're going to call this guy, let's go back to this one. By the way, I did not save this. Save as, and then call this character Demo 2, because that way we're not saving over the first one, because we did some changes. This will be file, save, Wiz1. Alright. Okay. And now let's go in and let's work on this wizard. Let's make him look like a wizard instead of whatever he looks like now, which is not a very good wizard. Alright, so let's see here. I'm going to take him and see what we can do here. So we're going to take the hood. Okay, so the hood's going to be fix the hood shape a little bit better. Okay, so it's going to be kind of the extra hood material there. So my going to be kind of a tied off here, and then this will be a what is this? I think this will be a this is going to be kind of a part of this cloak, and then under that he's going to have a tunic of some sort or something. Okay. The robes for the Wizarding robes of Harry Potter. Wizarding robes of Harry Potter. They're gonna kind of hang down here. All right, and then he can have a sash right here with some bags on it, I think, because if you play Dungeons & Dragons, wizards have to carry a lot of spell components with them, and then his dagger will also be on here. So he's have this kind of a jewel-hilted dagger, which I have it on the side of his body. We don't really see it, but it's okay. It's not his main thing here, but it's going to be on his right side because, well, yeah, that would be his left side because he pulls it with his right. So if he pulls the dagger with his right, he needs on his left side reach across himself to pull it out. So that would be correct. All right. So now the spell book, which we've got kind of in here. His spell book. I think we could do the spell book could be hanging right now. He doesn't need it in his hand. Okay, so the spell book is kind of hanging here with some kind of ornate stuff on it. Okay, it hangs on from leather straps. I'll go through and fix all this up. I'm just roughing it in now. The belt has I don't know. I think the belt's knotted, so it's a rope belt. So it has leather straps that hang down. Okay. And okay. And then his hand. Let's see, what's a wizardly looking thing with his hand? I think the wizardly looking, his hand should be doing something. It's like his hand should be casting a spell. So put his hand at kind of a spell like thing. So his hand, because we're trying to figure out a position for his hand, we're going to break it into shapes, three-dimensional shapes here. The palm. Okay, and then the hand would go off into the distance. The pinky finger, the ring finger, the middle finger, which would be the farthest back, and then the pointer finger. So, okay, there's his hand. He's doing the pick your hand up in the air. So the robe, his wrist would be exposed to his elbow, and his robe would have fallen and exposing his thing. We could put some bracelets on him. He's got some bracelets or something. I don't know. Maybe he's got like some kind of a thing, wrist thing. But I don't think he has long sleeves. He's just got a bare arm under the thing. But the robe is stacked up here in the folds, and then the robe hangs down here. So, all right, and then I don't know. He's got some kind of magic go down here or something. Just some kind of a magic coming out of his hands. I'll fix that. It's crooked. I don't know why I started with a crooked fire, but I did. Alright, so, oops. And I took his... It would hang straight, because you gotta imagine it's being affected by gravity. And it would be dark in there, too, so it would be dark inside the robe. But it's gonna be hanging from here, so... It hangs off of here, and then it hangs there. Okay. So in here, he's gonna have a flame that's gonna go... I did it again. I didn't put it in the center. The center of his hand would be here, so... Okay, so he's kind of got some type of fire spell there in his hand. Okay, we'll make that magic of some sort. So then here, his robe's going to come shoulder, and it comes down. And then it's going to sit on his arm, and it's going to come down, and it's going to hang straight. Alright, and here it's like at the full extent of it's falling down around his arm. So then here, his hand, okay, so if he's holding the staff and he's facing us, we're going to see his thumb there. Okay, and then his forefingers going to come up, and they're going to go onto there and there, and then his next finger will be there, and then the next one there, and then the pinky finger there. So his hand is holding the staff, and then the staff itself is going to be kind of I don't know, kind of random. Maybe not straight. It'd be more interesting that way. Alright. He's slender. So maybe his robe's going to come down a little bit. Kind of bunch at his waist because his belt. And then I think to make it a little more dramatic, this foot will come forward, so the robes, this part of the robe will come and go over there, and then he'll have his, dramatically he'll have this foot kind of like he's gonna do some kind of a spell. So let's say his foot would be here facing us, so it's out towards us, and it's facing us, so he's like kind of casting a spell. The other foot is going to come back here, and then this other foot would be, to make it kind of dramatic looking, so this foot's back here. Alright. The good old robe makes it easy to not have to draw the legs. Alright, so there we go. So he's going to kind of a dramatic pose there. The robe's going to kind of run into the staff there as it comes down. This will be his knee, so this part of the robe is going to hang over the knee, and then it'll be the under part of the robe. The under part of the robe that's on the leg, and it's being pulled a little bit taut. And then this part of the robe, which is the cape part of it, like the outer cloak, it's going to be here, and it's going to be, it would hang down here because it's heavy, and then maybe it comes back and then has a, we'll say it has a fold here, and then it has, because it goes in, you can't see it behind there, and it comes out again to go around his leg. And this, like I said, this is going to be kind of almost taut. This will be his under robe. This one's pulled almost taut on his leg because it's stretched out. Okay, and then his feet, I don't know, he's going to have some kind of wizard boots on. I don't know what kind of boots wizards wear, but he's got wizard boots. Okay, so he's got wizard boots on, and then this like, so the book is going to break the edge there, it sticks out, and it's going to break this edge too, because if I don't, it looks weird. So gotta kind of, the book will look better if it breaks this edge here. Okay, this is a big thick book. It's got a big clasp on it here to keep it from, but it's got straps. The straps are there. They hang down here, and they hang. So the book hangs from this thing that goes through it. Okay, goes here inside of it. Okay, and then there's a little bit of thickness to the cover, leather cover of the book, and some kind of ornate corners on it. We'll work something out for that in a minute. I'll fix that up a little bit. I'm just kind of laying them out right now. And then this strap is kind of pulled taut here, and this leg it's got to come out that way. I like that because his leg's under there, so the robe can come out and go like this around the leg. There you go. This undergarment And these were leather straps from the thing, so they're coming off this knot on the belt. The way he's got this knotted to tie his belt, and this comes in. This comes in like this. It ties here and it comes back out again. All right. And then this thing, this cape went over here and hung down, so it's actually, look there. Does that make sense? This cape on the outside, because it come down here and hung over his edge of his knee here. So it literally come down here and went over the edge. It had some thickness to it. And this is kind of pulled here. The fabric is a little bit pulled because his leg is pulling it, his knee. And then, but this cape, because it's hanging here, it comes down and kind of goes right up into there, and then it hangs down here. We'll make a different color to it so you can tell the difference between, like, this will be white and that's cape will be like red or something. Color will, or if it was black and white, it would be a different tone. So this one, see, you can see his boot, his leather wizard boots, because this maybe comes a little bit tight there. There you go. That works. So then this hangs down, so this line right here would actually be gone, because I changed this. There you go. Alright, and then his staff is back here. Alright, so, and then he's got this kind of design to the staff. I don't know what this is. Like branches or something sticking off the staff. It comes up, and then there's a... I'm assuming he's a good wizard, because, like, good wizards will usually have, like, natural stuff. And, like, evil wizards will have kind of, like, metal and things, I think, for their staffs. I don't know. That's just my imagination. So this is going to be a crystal. I'm going to make this some type of a crystal here. So, and it's going to be wrapped into the staff itself is going to be growing around the crystal itself. To hold it in place. Okay. Okay, so. Alright, so the staff holds the crystal right there. Growing into it, and then okay, so there's the staff and the crystal, the magic crystal on top of the staff, and then the staff itself comes down here. This is part of his, you gotta watch these lines, you don't want them to converge, and that's what's happening here. So where's this at? What's going on here? So here his robe's only gonna come to here. So you can see his wrist there. That way it doesn't converge with the staff. Yeah, that looks better. It doesn't have a lot of thickness because it's fabric, so just a little bit. Just enough. Okay, that works. Alright, so let's fix his face now. I don't like his face at the moment, but we're going to fix that. So we're going to go here. Alright, and then I think he needs some magic necklaces or something, some talismans. Quite a few of them, actually. I think that he's a wizard. Okay, so his face will be here, and his ear, and his eyes. Maybe he's looking down a little bit. He's got a little bit of a sneer because he's cocky, because he knows he's the best wizard around, and he considers himself smarter than, he's not met too many people as smart as him, and he is arrogant, and hair here, so his hair comes. Okay, but his hood is going to hang here. So his hood's going to hang like this. There he goes. And then this hood obviously doesn't go that far back. Unless he's got some big hat on under there that we don't know about. Okay. And that ear's hidden because of the... There you go. Alright, so then he's... defiantly... So he's there you go. It's tricky, you gotta make that look right. Okay, there you go. That's much better. So a little bit of a sneer. Okay, so this is going to be really dark in here, so. Really dark. Maybe he has like a big jeweled pendant here or something. This has got to come this way. It's too far over. There you go. He's got necklaces, pendants, and he's got this tunic here. All right, and then his hangs weird. He's got his bags. There you go. This eraser a little bit smaller. I keep, like, every time I erase something, I'm like annihilating stuff because the eraser's so big. There we go. Alright, so now a wizard, and his robes are kind of pull there a little bit, and then his bag is here. Let me clean this up a little bit. So his bag, his leather pouch. All right. Come in here. So this is gonna come here. This kind of does this a little bit, and then it there, and he immediately. There you go. Maybe he's got tattoos on his arm or something here. Well, magic tattoos or something. I don't know. We'll worry about that in a minute when I get closer to that. We're kind of going through levels of detail here. So, all right. This is really rough still. So, okay. And now, I've noticed one thing. And that is what? What did I notice, guys? Well, I really like his head, but it's too small. Compared to the rest of his body. See, his arm's too long and his head's too small. So his head's just got to be bigger. Give him a bigger head. So I like what's going on here a lot, though, honestly. So edit, cut. That's a great thing about Photoshop. Paste in place. Free transform. I love Photoshop because then when I do something like that, I can fix it. See how much better that looks? There you go. His head's much better size. There you go. There you go. Better. Okay. So just gotta use my eraser and drop the head layer down. Just clean up a little bit of stuff here. Because if you remember, the hood comes down here and loops back in on itself. And then the sleeve is here. So clean that up a little bit, that edge. There we go. Now we got a convergence going on here. So the top of the dagger needs to come up a little higher, just so that it's not at the same point where the arm comes through. Because alright, so and then this has got to be gonna actually kind of hang from his sleeve a little bit. So this will be dark in here because it's inside of the sleeve. Okay, there you go. And this is literally his knee right here, so okay. Alright, we got ourselves a wizard. And I could give him a little bit more of a chest. Not a lot, because I'm assuming he's kind of frail, but he's got a little bit. There you go. That looks better. Much better. Okay, so now this foot is a bit small. So we'll have to bring it up just a little bit in size. Let's scale. There you go. And then we'll clear that up a little bit with the eraser. Alright, so, and you know what? He could be a little bit thicker, just a little bit. Be that skinny. Okay, there it goes. But that strap for the wizard's book has to, I've got too many straps here. Gotta make this, clear this area up of confusion here. That strap and then this strap here, so. Alright, so this book strap is going to be here, prominent. This strap is the strap that ties his belt, which is there. And then the other one is this side. Okay. Alright, so then, yeah, so then his boot kind of comes down like this. His boot, end of his boot. And maybe his boots have kind of a stitch right here or something. I don't know. His boots are sewn together because they're leather, you know. So he's got a little lip on there. This one's got the same stitch because it's made by the same craftsman. Maybe they were cheap boots. Maybe they were leftover boots from somebody that had died in a battle or something, and he found them, and he couldn't afford boots of his own, so he just wore boots he found. Okay. You know, make up stories. Okay, so speaking of that, so let's have this robe kind of come over his foot a little bit. There you go. So it's pulled taut here, but it's hanging because of the way it's hanging over the boot, but it's got a lot of extra that comes around there. That's it. Actually, it should come down more to there, look even. Alright. Okay. So we've got our wizarding world of Harry Potter. So, alright, and he's there. Like I said, this is his elbow. This is dark in here. Inside of his robe. This is going to be darker here because it's in the background there under the edge of the robe. This is the edge of the sleeve. I'm going to make this thick, and this is dark inside of here because it's inside of his robe again. Alright, there you go. The dagger. Make sure all these lines don't look like they're converging. This is going to be a little shaded in here. Just a little bit. And it's going to get a little darker as it's under there. Because it's going back into there, so less light. And this is going to be a little darker here because it goes up under the edge of this piece of the robe. Alright. This is clean in here, so we have nothing in here. This is a negative space. The shape is negative. Now, I'm kind of thinking that it might be even a little bit up, even a little bit farther, to make a little more room here. It might look better. Yeah, that does look better, doesn't it? So his robe is going to come down here. His forearm is going to go there. That does look better, doesn't it? And then, once again, from this wrist, he can have some bracelets hanging or something. Like he does here. He has bracelets hanging. With things on them. Charms, whatnot. Charms on here. This is darker in here as it goes towards his face. So really want to, and the darkness here, so pulls back into his hood. Okay. Alright, and then his hair is here. I don't know what color hair he has, but whatever. It's dark as it goes on the edge of the hood. And then we'll have a little bit of and then his under his neck here is going to be darker. Just there's not a lot of light in here at all. Like I said, I need something there to like kind of break that space up. Magic pendant or something. So there you go. Just to bring some kind of attention to that. There he goes. Now the robe itself, I think we're gonna put, it has a ornate edge on it so that you can tell where it is. See, that really sets it off. Now we know this isn't that robe because it doesn't have that ornate edge. And here on the edges too, it has this kind of, make sure that line's nice and crispy. Okay. Alright, so we want this really dark inside here. Alright. Kind of getting a lot of grayscale in here, but that's fine. Okay. course, it's got to match the same curve since it's part of it, right? That makes sense? If it's the edge of that, then it's going to be, has to be an even distance the whole way. Does that make sense? Can't be part on one and not on the other. So there we go. And then the boots, shoes, kind of there, and then obviously it's gonna, the boot's gonna get darker as it goes under the robe. Okay, there's no light at all under his robe, or does he? And then we'll have some kind of little bit. So this is going to be also this shirt. He's got kind of a shirt here, and it's got to be kind of under the robe a little bit too. The robe is going to separate itself. And then the bags, a little darker here on the edge of the bag. Alright, now this bag's getting lost. I can't even see it, not anymore. See, I scribbled on it. I didn't even know where it was at. I lost the bag. Fix the bag. Fix the bag, man. Okay. Darken the bag, and then under the bag is going to be darker. Okay. And then I got to lighten up the front of the bag because I made it darker. I got to lighten it a little bit. Okay. All right, and then this has got to be cleaned up in here to be clear what this is. So this was a knot. That holds the straps. Belt, and then coming from the knot are the belt straps, or the ties of the belt. Okay, so there's one, and here's the other, and that's going to be kind of darker between them because there's no light there. Edge of this rope. Okay, well, this, let's see, there's a line here that's causing a problem. This is the old strap for the book that I changed. Okay, I've got to clean all this stuff up, or no one knows what's going on. If you can't even tell what's going on, how is the viewer going to know what's going on? So the book is an indent. Let's clean up the edge of the book. Clean this up on the book. And this. And really on this too. So this strap is going to come down here and it's going to go in there. The book's cover is going to be here, and it's going to come, it's got to be bigger than the, obviously it's a cover, so thicker than the book. Okay, and the book, the spell pages will be there, and we can just kind of, and they're going to be a little bit darker up here because there's an edge there. So. Okay, and then this is going to be the binding, or the thing that holds the book shut. Some kind of a magic thing, and then the book will have some type of some kind of a design here. It's a spell book. I don't know. What's a spell book look like? Who knows? Whatever you want it to look like. You are the creator of the world. You can make anything look like anything you want. So what does our spell book look like? Our spell book looks like this. said, it's darker here, and then it's real dark along that edge. This is darker here, and the book itself would be darker under where the book's at because the light would be book's casting a shadow, and it's gonna be slightly darker in here where the book straps are at. Okay, this is a piece of the belt. Let's clean this up. This is where the belt comes together right here. See the way this little cleanup really makes a big difference, because now you know what's going on. You didn't before. Okay, now this dagger is just gonna have to be implied there. We can't. It's just there's just too much going on. So the dagger is gonna have to be a little bit implied. Okay, the robe here. The wizarding robe of Harry Potter. I keep saying it. I know, but I can't help it. Dang Harry Potter. It affects everything. So this would be... Okay, and then I gotta clean up this edge here of the hood. There you go. That's better. Looks better. Okay, it kind of has a, I don't know, goes off into the darkness here. So let's, you can see, kind of see where his neck is at, but even it's dark under there. So okay, so if he had a beard, it would hide that, but this is a young wizard, young but powerful wizard. He doesn't have a beard. All right, so this is the edge of his. This is the edge of the dagger. Okay. All right. Well, let's go in and fix his hand here. So his hand is, his thumb would be, okay, and then this finger, you would see it go off into the kind of bows this way. This one is his forefinger, so it'd be way off here. And it would be this one kind of goes this way because it's generally there's a split in the middle of your fingers, so that the two on the ends go on a different angle from everything else. Okay, so this would be implied. Okay, so there's the wrist, and then it comes into the. So, like I said, we're in bracelets here. So now this magic is going to be coming. The magic will be kind of hiding some of that hand. So if it looks too weird, don't worry about it, because it does look a little weird. Alright, and then his forearm comes down here to this. And then, like I said, I wanted to have tattoos on him. So I'm going to apply the tattoos in here. But at the same time, I'll also apply some kind of bracelets or something. Alright, so now, and this, like I said, this is going to be a little bit darker in here because it's the break between the two pieces of cloth. Okay. a little bit of darkness into this, under the edge of this hood. So now I need to clean up. Smaller eraser. I need to clean up the break in here, though. Especially if the light's hitting it over here, right? If the light's hitting here, then this would be all lit brightly. Okay. Okay. All right. So this would be brightly lit, especially if the light's coming from this fire he's making here. So I still think this hood's a little high there. That's better. Yeah, it was too high. There you go. Okay. So let me take some of this extra hood off of here. So the hood kind of follows the shape of his head, but it has an overhang back here, so perfect. All right. Now, if the light's coming in on this hood, it's gonna be lit very dark under here, but lighter over here, right? So if the light's coming in from that side. Okay. Now, I've got to do his, I'm gonna fix his face, because it was just a rough pass the first time. Let's clean him up here. Let's clean this guy up. Take away his unibrow that I have on him. Okay, so we got kind of. All right, so let's work on his face. All right, so for his face, he's got these eyes, these piercing stare, if you will. Okay. It can be very implied because it's very small, but at the same time, you gotta do it right or it won't work. So that's slightly cleft of his lip there. Okay. And then his chin. To be darker under here. His jawline. Dark of his eye. Okay, the nose. There's light's coming in from this side, so you gotta think where the light's gonna be hitting his facial structure at. So it would be let me take this a little bit. And his hair was alright, so that'll work. this neck muscle here a little bit. And his Adam's apple just a little bit. Too much. Too much. It looks weird. There you go. And then darken it in just a little bit as it goes off. Oh, too much of a weird thing going on there. Okay, so his ear would be better. Okay, so for a really tiny little face here, because, and then the jewel, the light's coming in from the top of the jewel, so the jewel would be lit like this. So we're gonna light the jewel like we'd light his eyes. Okay, so the jewel would be right here. Okay, so the jewel, if the light's hitting it from up here, so the light right there, and then the bottom of the jewel would be the part that's lit up the most. Right? Yep. There you go. So it looks like a jewel, and then we'll nail the dark right in below it so that we got the point that it's dark around the jewel. So he's got the jeweled necklace on, the rings here for the shirt ties, and it kind of pulls the fabric a little bit. Everywhere there's ring ties would be a little pull to the fabric a little bit, because that's where the tension's going to be at. And then the comes in. This fold here, it might be a little bit darker right along there because of the way the light hits it. Okay. And his arm would be slightly going into shadow as it comes down. It wouldn't be in total darkness, but it would definitely not be that much. This is, like I said, this hood, majority of the light's coming in on this hood from this side. This side of the hood is going to be a little bit more in shadow here. His hair is going to be bringing the shadows. There we go. Okay, so that's not bad. So, bam, we got a wizard. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Okay, and then when I color it, it will look better. Though I'm a better painter than I am honestly than a what would I say? I can paint better than I can draw. So. If I paint this, I can make it look really good, really nice. Okay, so right now I'm just doing a rough. Oh man, I didn't finish his hands. Let me fix his hands. Okay. All right, and then his book. It's dark under his book. That's the shadow. Pops the book off of the gown, so, and plus we got a fold in the robe there, so it's really dark under this part of the robe. in the book. Okay. Don't be afraid of the dark. Don't be afraid of darks. I mean, you can, obviously it can be, you get carried away with it. But the more contrast, the better it'll overall look, trust me. Because contrast is the way we see, really. I mean, without contrast, we wouldn't be able to see. I mean, light's what makes us be able to see in the contrast. We judge distance. Everything is based off of contrast. So really, don't be scared of it. Okay, I'm not super happy with his face, but we'll go with that for the moment. Like I said, when I paint it, I can really pop it better. But I don't want to get too crazy working with his face before I paint it. So I don't know if I'm painting it or not, but okay, so. Okay, so we got the overall gist of this, I think. Alright. Okay, so then his hand, I had to fix that hand. Well, but you know what? No, we don't, because since I started with this kind of shading, I kind of got to finish it. Because if I don't, it will definitely not work. The music's okay tonight. I explain this every single time I do this, but the music I'm using for the background is free music from YouTube. It's the only music that YouTube lets me use without flagging me, even though it'll say royalty-free music, it'll just flag my videos and won't let me put them out. So I just to make life easy, I just use their free music. And because I'm not going to spend a lot of time editing through it, picking out the right music, I'm just letting it play. So all I did was I did pick hip hop because that seems to be the best music that they have on there. So okay. Alright, so there we go. So that's that, and I gotta fix his hand because his hand is terrible. Look at this mess. So his hand is gonna come out to be. Alright, and then this hand here, this finger, is gotta wrap around this staff. So wrap around the staff. The staff has to come into it, and the finger would actually go around it, and then out, and then the finger would be, that finger would end there. Okay. This thumb is in the wrong place. This thumb. Okay, so let's do his fingers first. So this finger is going to come actually down this way, knuckle, finger, and then it's going to kind of wrap back in on itself a little bit. Then this finger would come down here. The knuckle would be here. The finger would come back in, and then the knuckle would the finger wrap around. Okay, and this finger would be here, and then this finger would be less noticeable here. Okay, and then this is an extra finger we don't need. All right, and then the thumb would actually set on top of this finger right here. The thumb would come up. This would be the knuckle of the thumb. The bottom of the thumb, the muscle of the thumb. So the muscle of the palm right there. Yeah, now the stick of the staff would be there. And then the palm would be here. So let's clean up this extra space in here. Okay. Then if that hand was like that, then the knuckle or the wrist bone would be here, and the palm would be here, and this would be a little bit, because it has a thickness to it, it would come up a little bit to go over the top of the arm. Do you see that? Gotta remember there's a thickness to things, so. And then this would, right there. And that's that side of that. Okay, and then this staff is actually going to be over this way. If I follow this line, the staff is actually going to be here. Not where it's at. Okay, so I'm going to fix it. Staff is off by a lot. The farther it goes down, the more the staff goes off. Okay, so if you follow this line, the staff comes down here. This line goes over here. There you go. Now I'm going to put wrappings on the staff as like a handle, because I would assume that there might be, like if he grips it a lot right there, maybe they would want some type of a fabric or something on there. Okay. Just once again, I'm adding a little thickness to it because it does have volume, a little bit, not tons, but it has a little bit of volume. It's not part of the wood, so it would stick up a little bit off the wood of the staff. If the staff's, I'm guessing the staff's made out of wood. I don't know what a wizard's staff's made out of. But mine was wood, so the staff is made of wood. So there you go. There you go. So there it wraps down, and then the staff itself is going to be kind of a little bit knobby. All right. And then one more wrap ending here, kind of where it ties off. It's going to kind of come up and tie off there. Okay, so it wrapped into the palm of the hand here. Okay. Now the staff itself is going to be wood, so we'll put a wood grain into it. Once again, I would paint this in normally, this wood grain, but I'm just going to draw it in now. So, which is pretty much what when I painted in there, I'm drawing it in too, but I just draw it in with paint. Okay, so okay, and then it's gonna. All right, and then this is a. I'm gonna gnarl this to smaller there, just so it's interesting looking. Although that's too much. I think this will be better. Watch. We'll come up here and we'll go. It changes direction, so subtly it changes direction here. So the crystal is here, but I think it's going to have another piece. It's gonna come here. Yeah, because that way it ties the crystal in. If that makes sense. There you go. There are more wraps around it. Okay, but this piece right here looks like it's coming from that, so we don't want that. So this piece wraps around here, and then this piece, which is going to come here, and it's going to wrap around here. it's going to overlap this one, so hopefully that's clear. It's overlapping this first one. And they both go behind the crystal, so okay, there you go. And then this one wraps around here. Okay. Alright, and then this crystal has a gonna have the light kind of has almost an edge there where the light's shining through it. Okay, and it's gonna come up and wrap like that, so we know where that's coming from. So, all right, and then this is gonna do there, and it kind of there, or more organic, yeah. And we'll put a little bit of a indent here. You can tell that it comes away from it there. So kind of branching off into itself. All right, that's when it starts its kind of twisting around itself. There you go. And this is going to be obviously like it got cut off there, so. Alright. There you go. It's a staff, wizard staff. Now the problem is I have a convergence going on here, so. Can you see the convergence? It's right here, so. We have to break this convergence by moving this down a little bit farther. In fact, I'm going to move it even farther down because I can't have it converging with that staff point. Nothing I do about the staff coming down there, so staff has to break through there. The staff can come back here and be gnarled on the whatever in the back, but this has to be at a different point. See that? Much better, because now it's not a convergence. Okay. Okay. And dark. To really bring the edge of that boot out. Alright, there we go. So we cleaned up the convergences. And we got still not super happy with the face, but I'll work on the face. If I paint it, the face will definitely get fixed. Right now, I'm not happy with the face. I'm a little bit happy with it, but not really. Let's see here. So I think I know why. So his eyes, there you go. It was the fact that his eyes were, there you go, that looks better. And then I'm gonna bring his forehead out just a little bit. There you go. It looks better. Need a little bit more detail to it, that's all. See, the more lines you put on, the older it makes the character look. But in this particular case, he can't look... I mean, I want him to be a wizard, but he has to have a little bit of gravitas, which would come with age. So he can't be he can't look too babyface. I mean, maybe that's the whole thing. Maybe that's his story. He looks babyface and no one respects him, but he's like super powerful. You know, maybe that's the whole story behind this guy. He looks babyface, but never underestimate him. Because it'll be to your detriment. Much better. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's better. Much happier with that. Okay, so just really pop these blacks a little bit more around his face to really harden that edge up. There we go. That's better. Alright, I like better. Okay. There we go. Well, we got a wizard. Alright, so our wizard is all right there. And we're going to grab our wizard. And like I said, if I paint him, he'll be better. But he's unpainted right now, so. And I'm going to copy him, and then I'm going to edit, paste him. He's huge, you know, compared to everybody else. Bring him over here, and then I gotta make him fit the scale of the rest of the party. So free transform, and I'm not for sure how long this is going on, so I'm probably going to stop here for tonight and work on another character tomorrow. So he's a human. I don't want him too much bigger than everybody. He's bigger. I mean, he's not. He's bigger. He's got to be taller than the dwarf and taller than the halfling, but he's not that. There you go. That works. All right, so let's file, save as, and then this is going to be 3. So we'll just save multiple versions of this. It's 3. Okay, and then we'll go back to this one, and we'll just save it as it is. It's fine. Alright, so the wizard's done until I paint it. The drawing part of the wizard's done. So we made him out of shapes. So that was kind of the point of the demo. The next we're going to do will be the hobbit, and then the dwarf, then the big warrior, and then the female rogue. Alright, guys. So at that, I'm going to stop for right now. I can try to get some more done this tomorrow. And I'll just post what I got so far. Thanks.